So the Battle of Hawkins is officially here. The $300 Lego Creel house is about to come out here very soon. And that is preceded by the 2019 Stranger Things Upside Down, which was an amazing set. So I think the ultimate question that needs to be answered is which of these two sets is the reigning champion of Hawkins? And we're going to attempt to answer that question in this video by giving them each a grade out of 100 and crowning a winner. Now, just to give you a brief history of Stranger Things in Lego, the Upside Down house was the very first and the largest set up to this point that was released in the Stranger Things theme. That came out in 2019 and retailed for $200. That was followed up in 2022 with the Demogorgon and 11 Brickhead set for $20. And then in 2025, we got another Brickhead set. Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will came in that set, and that one retailed for right around $40 and is still available as of right now. And now that brings us to the recent launch of Season 5 of Stranger Things and the 2026 release of this brand new Lego Creel house. So there you go. Now that I have you caught up on the Lego Stranger Things history, I first want to show you the new GWP, the Lego Squawk radio station that is about to come out and release with this new Lego Creel house. The Squawk radio station is going to come free with your purchase of the new Creel house when it releases. This set's going to have 234 pieces. It does have one small sticker sheet with it, which isn't too bad. We're gonna get two minifigures in this. They're both exclusive to this GWP. We're gonna get Joyce first here with this printed rubber yellow chicken, which I think is awesome. And then we're also gonna get a Hopper minifigure, which looks really good as well. And then the set itself, I think, is a winner. It's a really nice little diorama of the Squawk radio station. You've got the whole booth there with the record player. I really like the little drawing here on the window, which I believe is like a wormhole. And then out front here, you have a little staging area with like a couch and a TV, and then you also see the on-air sign up there. So very close to the set that we see in Season 5 of Stranger Things, which is cool. Now let's get into the part that we're all here for, the showdown between the $650 Upside Down house or the $300 Creel house. The Upside Down is going to come with 8 minifigures total. We get Chief Jim Hopper, which is a great minifigure. We get my favorite and definitely the most expensive one of all, the Demogorgon. We get Dustin, which is also a great looking minifigure and surprisingly the second most expensive minifigure in the Upside Down. So definitely a fan favorite, it appears. We get an 11 minifigure, which is great. We get Joyce Byers, and you can kind of see a little bit of a comparison to the Joyce Byers minifigure that we get in the GWP that I just talked about. We get Lucas, which is probably my second favorite minifigure out of the lot next to the Demogorgon. And then of course we have to have a Mike Wheeler minifigure. And then lastly, we get a Will Byers minifigure. And then along with those 8 minifigures, we do have a little display stand. It has a stickered plaque of the Stranger Things logo. And then we have the ability to put 4 minifigures on this display. It's a little unfortunate that we can't put all 8 on here in my opinion, but it's still nice that they added it as an addition. Jumping over to the 13 minifigures, yes, 13 minifigures that we get in the Creel house. We start off with the minifigure Mr. What's-It, looks really good. We get Holly in the set, which looks like a lot of the minifigures that we're gonna see in the Creel house, very true to a lot of the Season 5 outfits that they wore. We get a Nancy minifigure, we get a Jonathan minifigure, and the Jonathan was kind of weird because you can see here in the instructions, they actually have print on Jonathan's arms in the instructions, but we don't get any prints on the actual Jonathan minifigure, which is weird. So I'm not sure which way it was actually supposed to be, but unfortunately we don't get prints. We get a Steve minifigure, and unfortunately, I'm just not sure what was going on when they chose the hairpiece for Steve. Does not look like him at all, in my opinion. We get a Robin minifigure for the first time. We get a Dustin minifigure, and I think Dustin's gonna be another fan favorite. He's got the Hellfire Club torso, which looks really good. I really like his hat and hair piece in this one, just like I did with the Upside Down. So I think Dustin's gonna be another probably pretty big minifigure. We get a really nice Will minifigure. Again, outfits very close to the show. We get a good Lucas minifigure. I think I like the Upside Down version of Lucas better. We get a Mike minifigure. We get Max in the set for the first time, which is cool to see. And then we get 11, which again has a really close outfit tie to her Season 5 outfit. But then the biggest minifigure of all by far, and definitely the best one in this set in my opinion, and I think it's going to be for a lot of people, is we finally get a Vecna minifigure. This minifigure looks amazing. We get a special hand mold here that we have not seen up to this point, and then we also get some really nice printing. It's the only minifigure in this set that we get printing on the arms. So now to look at the actual builds themselves, and we'll start with the upside down. So this set sells for about $650 brand new. Like I said, retail was $200. It's got 2,287 pieces, which is slightly smaller than the Creel house. It has 2 sticker sheets, which isn't horrible, and then we get 2 manuals with the Stranger Things upside down. Now, I'll be frank, this set really surprised me. I did expect it to be good because I know how popular this set has been with so many people, but it really even surpassed my expectations beyond that. So a couple of highlights on this upside down house for me. First, Jim Hopper's sheriff's car is definitely super cool. I love that they added that to the set. It's even got a pumpkin in the back, which is really cool. And then looking at the buyer's house in itself, it's got a really nice tiled off facade. You get all kinds of cool details inside. So you've got the letter wall here, which is really nice. And it's even got a light brick on this top side, which is great. So you can kind of create that flickering light effect. I also really thought this like little simple trap on the floor here with like those bucket handle elements was really cool. And then the Jaws poster on the wall in Will's bedroom is definitely one of my favorite pieces to the house here. But then the biggest part is obviously the ability to flip it upside down. So you have these big 2 trees on either side that act as the structural stabilization for the set. Now, as far as complaints go, I have seen some people complain about like the stability of the trees and maybe things falling off here. I have not had any of those issues, so those are no complaints on my end. If I did have any complaints here, just building the 2 trees, they're almost exactly the same, and they are pretty large trees, so the only thing I would complain about there is just the fact that it got a little bit tedious to build the 2 trees. And even the houses, they are very different, so it's not a big complaint, but they were a little bit tedious because it almost is like building the same thing twice. But outside of that, there's enough difference in there that I felt like it was fresh, and honestly, just from a design perspective, I thought this set was absolutely incredible. So that leads me over to the Creel house now. Can the Creel house actually exceed that? The Creel house is gonna retail for $300, about a $300 to $350 savings on the upside down house sealed. We're also gonna get 2 sticker sheets, again with the Creel house. Not massive sticker sheets, so I wouldn't say it's a major complaint. We get 3 manuals with the Creel house, 1 for the house and then 2 for the vehicles that come with the house, which we'll talk more about. The house itself is what we build first, and I think the house looks amazing. It's very true to the Creel house in the show. I love the decorative look around the fascia up here, just like we see in the show. And then it's got this really nice blue siding color with the white trim. I think it all just looks amazing, not only as a house in the show, but just as a Lego set as well. One thing that I really kind of love looking at this from the exterior, and I also loved in the show, is the stained glass on the door. We see it in the movie multiple times, and this is a printed piece in the door, and I'm so glad that they added it. I think it looks absolutely incredible. And then turning it around, we do have an open back, but the inside of this house is absolutely packed full of detail, even more so than the upside down set. There are tons of rooms in here to explore, but a couple of my favorites are definitely going to be Alice Creel's room. I think this room looks amazing. I really love like the old school wallpaper up on the wall, the mirror on the wall, which is again also a sticker. There's a Mind Flayer picture sitting over here on this chest. And then I also really like the dining room setup here on the bottom floor. So that's just a few of the details. There's a ton of really cool details in this Creel house. But then just like with the upside down set, we get 2 big trees on either side of the house. But the most amazing version of this set is the Vecna's Mind Layer version, which is created by pulling these 2 sides apart, and the interior house opens up to show the grandfather clock front and center. The trees fall down on either side. This wall spins around here and opens up. Basically, everything starts as the base pulls apart. Walls drop down, the center of the house opens up, the front porch tilts to the side and gives you visibility inside with the Vecna layer look for the house. When I say the functionality on this set is next level, I've really never seen anything like it. It's really impressive on how this thing actually pulls together. After the house is built, we put together Steve Harrington's 1983 maroon BMW. Looks great, pretty simple car, but I think it's a nice addition. And then my favorite vehicle here, out of all three of the vehicles in both sets, I think has definitely got to be the WSQK van. I really like the colors on this van. I think it looks really good. I like the antenna on top. There are a lot of stickers on the van, but I think it does dress it up pretty nicely. Of course, I would have liked to have seen them all printed, but I think it makes it look really good, and I'm definitely a big fan that they did add it to the set. So to summarize the build experience on these two, first, the minifigures on both sets, I think I'm gonna have to give that one to the Creel house. So we get more minifigures, we get Vecna. Yes, there are some amazing minifigures over here in the Upside Down, but I think that the Creel house edges the Upside Down out just a little bit in the minifigure department. As far as the build experience, that is super close. I mean, both of these were amazing builds. Both of them have incredible designs and functionality, and both of them are just super unique sets. Like I said, just very unique compared to any other theme that's out there. But if I had to choose, I'd probably have to go with the Creel house. The Creel house, again, I'm still just trying to wrap my head around how this thing actually functions like that and can pull apart and go back together so smoothly. And when it pulls apart, I mean, it pulls apart. Everything comes apart, which is crazy to see. So it's also just an amazing looking build. It's got more room, so there's other reasons, but I think the Creel house was the better build of the two, in my opinion. So I'm gonna give the Creel house a score of 38 out of 40 on build experience. I'm giving the Upside Down a 36 out of 40. So now on to display and play. Which one actually looks better on the shelf, the Upside Down or the Creel house? And I'm gonna start with the Upside Down. This is an amazing set. I think it looks incredible. I love the fact that you can actually display it in several different ways. The fact that you can actually flip it upside down, it almost feels like a new set. So the Stranger Things set sitting on a shelf and being displayed somewhere is very strong. The Creel house is equally amazing. It's a amazing looking house, like I just said. Very similar in size to the Upside Down. And in my opinion, it's maybe just not quite as impressive when sitting on a shelf for display like the Upside Down. Now on the play and function side of each set, the Upside Down does have some great play functions. It has the ability to flip the whole set upside down, like I said. You got the addition of the light brick. You have some great minifigures and a Demogorgon to recreate a lot of scenes. So there's a lot of play and there's a lot of fun to be had with the Upside Down. However, going back to the Creel house, the functionality on this set is next level. Yes, you can flip the Upside Down, but the Creel house functionality is next level. You'll also have the same ability with even more minifigures, 13, to recreate a lot of scenes. So in my opinion, the Creel house is going to be the better set when it comes to overall play of the set, as well as definitely functionality. So it's super close in this category, and I'm basically gonna make it a tie because they both have some serious strengths in this category. So I'm gonna give the Upside Down house a 17, and I'm gonna give the Creel house a 17. Now we get into overall value. We're gonna start with the Stranger Things Upside Down. This one's a solid value. It retailed for $200 back in 2019, just over 2,000 pieces, so a pretty solid value. It's gonna put it right at about 8.7, just a little under 9-cent price per piece, which is pretty solid, I would say, for this set. The minifigures in this set are valued at right around $175 as of this recording, which is a solid value on 8 minifigures, so not bad there. Now, with that said, you're not gonna get this set for $200 anymore. So this set is going to sell used, like this probably, for $400, $450, depending on condition, if you have the box, that kind of stuff. If you want it new and sealed, like you would have got it at retail, you're gonna pay $600 to $650 as of this recording. That brings me over to the Creel house. So the Creel house is gonna retail for $100 more. It's gonna retail for $300. Yes, it does have a few more pieces, not that many, unfortunately. So that is gonna put the price per piece is slightly under 12 cents, which is a pretty significant jump in my opinion. That's really unfortunate. Does it surprise me? Not really, because we've seen a lot of prices increase over the course of the past year, but it's unfortunate to see us jump from almost 8 cents all the way up to almost 12 cents. Outside of that, there's a lot of great value here. Again, I think the 13 minifigures, even though we don't know the value on these 13 minifigures, I think they are going to be a pretty heavy value point to this set. Definitely Vecna, with him being exclusive to this set, I think is probably going to go for a pretty penny on Bricklink if you want to get your hands on him. So I think there's a lot of value packed into this set. And then of course the house itself and the functionality I think is amazing. Neither of these, again, I know it's kind of a common theme running through this video. You would have maybe hoped that there would have been a blowout going on one side or the other, but they're both very comparable. They're both very heavy in my opinion when it comes to value. But if I had to pick again a winner, I'm probably gonna have to give that to the Upside Down. I feel like this was just a better value. I think maybe the one thing that's souring me a little bit is the almost 12-cent price per piece over here. We're getting a few more pieces. Granted, we are also getting a lot more minifigures. So it's very close, I don't know. But I'd have to say I feel like the value, just from what I'm sensing, is gonna be better over here on the Upside Down. With that said, I'm putting the Upside Down grade at 18 out of 20, and I'm gonna put the Creel house at a grade of 17 out of 20. So now it's time to take a look at the community vote and each set individually on whether you liked the set or did not like the set, as well as putting each one of them head to head and letting you all vote which one of the two was better. Starting with the Upside Down, pretty simple on that one. You all definitely like the Upside Down, and as of this recording, almost 90% voted the Upside Down alike. Moving over to the Creel house, pretty much the same thing, maybe just a little less enthusiastic. The Creel house got just about 85% as of this recording, voting it alike, but still very solid. Obviously, both of these sets are very popular in the community. But then the biggest poll of them all, which one was better? Which one did you vote was the better of the two sets? And without a doubt, the Upside Down ran away with the win on this one. Almost 80% voted the Upside Down better than the Creel house. I can't say I don't see that. The Upside Down is very popular, very nostalgic for a lot of people. A lot of people also do have a little bit of an issue with the minifigures in the Creel house, but no doubt Upside Down definitely takes the community vote category. We're finally here at the final grades of both sets. Here is a snapshot look at all the grades of the Upside Down, and that is going to give the Upside Down a final grade of 89 out of 100, which is a very solid grade. And on the flip side of that, looking at the Creel house, here's a snapshot of all the grades for the Creel house. The Creel house is going to come in at 88 out of 100, which is going to make the Upside Down the winner of our versus battle. Both of these sets are amazing. I loved building both of these sets. They're both very strong in their own right in kind of different ways, but the Upside Down does take it and is going to be the winner of our versus battle. Thanks as always for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.